The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host, into another day of wonderful excellence out here in the marketplace of actual money. Of course, I am your host, the one and only squeezably soft David White, once again into the breach, dear friends. And we've got a market that is off 26 points on the S&P cash, and we've got a lot of other stuff going on. I'm kind of behind the ball because I got wrapped up in a lot of stuff in the markets and forgot that I had a show today. So I'm way behind the ball out here, but we can say that we can start the show off with basically the same volume we had on the upside yesterday, and that is 2.25 billion shares. Got down to a low of 2076 on the S&P cash. And my guess is that we're going to sell off into the end of the day back down to 2070. Of course, tomorrow is a day of what? It's going to be a day of anybody? Bueller? It is the day that they go options delta neutral. So I imagine that we're going to have a great deal of volatility going in to tomorrow. We got a lot of other stuff going on. I'll get my stuff together before the end of the show. And that is just about everything we've got to talk about. So I'll see you tomorrow. No, we've got lots of stuff to talk about today. But we will continue on. We will persevere. We will get charts up and we'll do other stuff. But there's going to be a lot of discussion at the very beginning of the show here. I'll fix everything come mid-break. But we will have to we'll have to work it out as we go along. So the engineers can just get a tissue if they have an issue. How about that? I wonder what great sage advice that came from. Andy Heck, maybe? I think so. Anyway, we've got a lot of market moving data out here. We've got gold up a little bit. It's up $4. It was up a little stronger earlier out here, but we continue to move down. The problem with getting into any commodity out here, even the best in a ugly bunch of them, is just about, hang on just a second. I need to hang up on somebody that apparently is not listening. There, we'll get rid of them. They're gone. And what we can think about out here, of course, is what is happening in China. And for that part, I kind of had to think about it. I talked to Andy Heck earlier this morning. We talked a little bit about it, maybe at noon too. But to me, it was the kind of a China syndrome, and wrapped in the prisoner's dilemma. For the last 7 or 8 years, all the central banks have decided to get together. They've decided that the thing to do was be united in a front against the recession that was happening globally. When China moved today, they did something that is straight out of the prisoner's dilemma, and that is that even though it would probably hurt them a little, they were going to get hurt a whole lot less by doing a cut. And of course, this follows all day Monday, where everybody had all the happy talk about the market was more than ready for a September rise. And of course, that meant that the dollar was probably going to strengthen, and that made it would probably mean a little tougher for China to export their stuff here. And, you know, they like or actually make it a little easier for them to export their stuff. But we've got pretty much a market that is set up for excellence. We had it in Apple yesterday. Everybody was whistling past the graveyard. We talked about that. That Verizon is going to have no contracts and no phones that they basically subsidize. Seem to be very tough. But get back to China. The prisoner's dilemma, of course, we've talked about many times before, is especially when you're long, everybody has to stay long. If any of the whales start getting out, that creates a huge problem. Well, we've seen it in Apple already. In fact, it blew through or down to the lows before. We're trading at 113.75 right now. You know, it's in this gap. There isn't a whole lot to say about it other than that. And we've got continuing issues when the best of the stocks cannot hold up higher. But China basically has broken the deal with the rest of the world. And a lot of people probably figuring out, well, it's probably not that big a deal so far. But to me, my guess now is that not only are commodities fair game to the lower side, and will probably continue to be to the lower side for a little while, but the currency wars are probably going. We're probably going to start hearing this the next, I don't know, couple of days. I think we probably heard whispers about it yet today, and that is pretty much currency wars. No more cooperation between various countries. We've seen it now with China. My guess is the next one will be the U.S. against the euro, and the euro, and probably actually the UK against the euro, and then the UK against the United States, and it'll be everybody for themselves, and there won't be a whole lot else out here to get started. But we'll figure it out. Anyway, we got some other things going on. If you were watching the news today, you would have seen that they, I think, indicted 9 different people for an insider trading scheme, and this does relate to a stock that we have out here that we talk about on the show, so we'll get to that in a second. But they were hacking all of the news feeds that were getting the news early, like earnings reports and everything else. And according to what they rolled out today, they went out and recruited traders and showed them that they have, the goods. They actually gave them data the day before, the hours before, and allowed these traders to go off and do stuff. And they did it for a cut of the money. Apparently, they made almost $200 million about it. But what makes some of these security companies like FiberEye and Cyber and the rest interesting is if they come across something illegal, they have to report it. So FiberEye is dumping through the data on some of these systems like Bloomberg News and AP and everything else. And guess what? They find out someone has been stealing their data, and they report it to the FBI. And when we've talked about why it's so hard for these companies to sell their products, this is the exact reason why. And that is that if they find something, they report it. And a lot of times the CEOs would rather have that not be put out there. And that is that, they didn't like it when they ratted out Target. They don't like it when these guys ratted out the folks from these news wires. And in fact, today I thought it was very interesting in the press release that they didn't actually by name identify any of the people that were hacked. And I thought that was very interesting. Maybe I'll find it in the filings that we see overnight or tomorrow, because it's been made public. So it'll be on the web somewhere. But again, that is the double-edged sword of cyber. Oh, I should just put it up here, and we'll get it up. Cyber security. There we go. Pana Networks, Barracuda, Cyber. What is it? Why can't I remember their name? CyberArk. That's what it is. I bet someone in the den got to me just before there. CyberArk and FireEye. But all these companies probably not the Palo Alto networks, because they really don't deal in that. All they know is someone's tried to hack in them. They don't know who. They don't know where. CyberArk, to a better degree, and FireEye to the nth degree, know a lot more about what people were doing while they were inside the network, inside the fences, and see what's going on. Well, even though they reported this, it probably would have been good news. They're off $1.17 at $43.41. Doesn't make a lot of sense to think that any of these other companies are going to be doing that good. Now, of the companies with China exposure, the ones that, of course, we're looking at that are doing the worst out here today is Apple. It's off $6. Broadcom is off just a little less than $1, but it's about 2%. Micron, probably wouldn't think that it would affect it that much, but it's down with the general market, and I think $15 is probably a good level to look at before Micron bottoms yet again. At $17.75 right now, off a little more than $1. When, of course, we talked about that, everybody believed that as soon as they turned off the gambling casinos in the stock markets over there, that everybody would start piling back in to the real gambling casinos like Wynn. Well, it's off $5 at 98. No, let's call it $99, off 5% and $5. Yum Brands, of course, another one of these stocks, or a lot of these stocks that have gone to die, is Yum Brands, and it's off almost $5. So I don't know what else you can say about it other than that, but continued weakness. Now, yesterday, everybody was getting all hot and excited. The volume did not come in, so I remained short. When we have, let me get my stuff back up here. When we have a great deal more stuff out here, I've got a few internet problems at the moment, so just bear with me. I had to reboot my router just before the show to get it taken care of. And, what else we have there? Okay, 2.3 billion shares. So anyway, right during my show yesterday, all the volume decreased. We didn't really have a lot. Again, we're not having a ton of volume on the downside yet. But in the days when we've had huge selling, it's always come in late in the day. And I don't see that that's going to be any different. Anyway, if you have anything that you want to bug me about, you can email me at path@tfnn.com. You can call me at 877-927-6648. And, of course, you can post a message in the den. Yeah. And you can, when I have a mental blank, you can remind me, which I need a great deal of lately. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute. We'll get everything up and running. And like I said, just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of things out of place today. And I'm not good when they're out of place. I need everything in its place. And it's not. Give me a call, 877.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crisp crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
And today, in 1928, accepting the Republican national presidential nomination, Herbert Hoover declares, "We in America today are nearer to the final triumph over poverty than ever before in the history of any great land. The poorhouse is vanishing from among us. We shall soon, with the help of God, be in the sight of the day when poverty will be banished from the nation." Unfortunately, just 1 year later, the Great Depression arrives and proves Hoover tragically wrong. And I don't know if there's anything else you can say about that. But we continue. On this day in 1950, Steve Wozniak of Apple Computers is born too. We had a question in the den. He said he had escaped, would listen to the discussion later. The question was this: can you discuss the cloud? Amazon Cloud Services rocked up this past quarter. Do you see competition in cloud? He typed it CLUD. He types like me, CLUD pricing. I think it was cloud pricing. Do you see a consolidation? Thanks. And the answer is no. We've talked about before how companies make money in the cloud, and that is selling software, not selling server time and selling bytes and bits and internet connection speed. They do make a little money off that, but the great deal of money, if you're talking about Salesforce or Google or Amazon or the rest, and I think he was talking about Amazon to begin with, is all about selling that software. And Rackspace became one of these companies that thought that they would just supply all the hardware and some of the software, just the basic software, and allow people like Salesforce to sell stuff on their system. They never really got into the providing of services or software as a service like they did. So the question really is, do you see competition in cloud pricing? Cloud pricing isn't where the competition is. It's all in that software that is behind the cloud. And I continue to not see a great deal of a difference in any of that anytime soon. We can take a look at Amazon out here. Amazon, if it's going to get smacked, is going to get smacked on its evaluations. And I think we talked about this a couple of days ago. Certainly looked like it wanted to come back here and fill about half this gap. But also, it is a 3-gap play out here. So I would not be surprised to see over time that maybe valuations come back down and this thing fills 310. There are 3 distinct gaps. They fill all the qualifications of a 3-gap play, and we'll watch it out here. I would love for this to close back above a 3x3 displaced moving average and then close below it if you were thinking on the short side of it. But of course, this is way off the spike highs of that day were sold back. You would have had to probably pick the top there, and it would have been a good 3-gap play. I just didn't like the market at the time. And there's several of these 3-gap plays that are around this market. We've got a couple more minutes. We have Al from Dallas. He says he didn't, I think he must take my newsletter. He wanted to short some stocks, and he was looking at TS, is it N? It's probably got to be TSM, I think. That's what he's talking about. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. And this right now is probably in a fairly decent, maybe he got the test here today and was thinking maybe it's time to take his cash if he's already short this. But this is in probably, it's probably in a trading range of about 20 and a half bucks. Could it bounce back up to 23.50? I think it could, and you'd probably want to pull the trigger one more time. I'm going to say that I would wait till tomorrow. As I said yesterday, a great deal of what we're doing out here is going to be about how the market reacts tomorrow to everybody going delta neutral. And of course, I always do the options expiration charts to see if it can give us that month any clue. About 2 or 3 times a year, it will give us a vital clue into making huge amounts of money. And we will see starting tomorrow, and actually tomorrow night about 8 o'clock, I get the filtered data and I at least able to start looking through it. But at that point, we'll start getting a good idea about how this is all setting up, where it's setting up, and what we'll do about it. But it continues to be, I've said it before, and that is stocks. I heard Tom talk about it too. How many of these stocks are down at the bottom without bouncing? A lot of these stocks are, crashes happen at the bottom. I'm not talking about the market. Just expected.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Tom O'Brien has just announced a live online workshop taking place Wednesday, August 12th, 6 trades for September. This special event will be open to all subscribers to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. Tom will walk you through 6 trade setups in the market he's identified setting up for September. 2 long positions, 2 short positions, and 2 option trades. New subscribers will also receive a free copy of his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, an $88 value. But we're not done yet. We're also including a Tiger's Den membership as part of all Market Insights subscriptions at no cost as well. You get Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, 30 days of his newsletter, Market Insights, access to his live online workshop, 6 trades for September, and access to the Tiger's Den. This offer is only valid for 2 weeks, so don't miss out. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to Market Insights at the front page of TFNN.com today.
If you're looking for a great opportunity to diversify your financial portfolio, consider the Principal Protected Market Safe CD from Everbank. They've just released the second running of their 5-year Market Safe Power Metal CD, which combines the power of gold, silver, and copper. You get exposure to 3 valuable metals in one index CD and have the potential to earn up to 45% capped upside payment at maturity if the metals increase in value across annual pricing dates. And should they decrease? No worries. There's 0 risk to your deposited principal here, as you still get 100% of it back. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on the CD. Intrigued yet? The August 17th funding deadline is quickly approaching. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN for more information, including important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Everbank is a member FDIC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we are back. And well, we've got more people calling, emailing in. We got Frank from Sun City, California. I'm not going to play Sun City. What a deal. Anyway, let me go back here and take a look at the rest. We were talking about Taiwan Semiconductor. The problem is all these stocks that look like they've bottomed out haven't. Like I said, I'd sit on my hands for one more day and see how this is working out. When we look at the indexes, you know, we're under 2080. My guess is we're going to go close or go down either at the close today and or early tomorrow morning at 2070. And at that point, we're going to find out whether or not this market is probably bottomed. But at 2070 and 2069, something like that on the S&P cash, we're going to figure it out. 2.43 billion shares. Can you look at Home Depot, says Frank from Sun City? It seems to be defying gravity. And, yeah, was Home Depot. Yeah, it's up here. It's up here on light volume. But I want to show you another stock on light volume. And I don't expect that Home Depot is going to be as horrible as that or as this. But, you know, it's not uncommon to get these stocks bouncing around up at highs with very light volume and short squeezes that come between it. And if you go back and look at Stratasys, this is an excellent example of the other 5 or 6 3D companies that had cracked in the market, this one was being held up. The reason why is the funds were in this stock. And when funds are in stocks, they do not let them crack until they've gotten fairly short, bought puts, gotten out of the stock, done something other than sit there and take a beating as the stock comes back. They want to distribute if they can. And my guess right now, when we go back and look at Home Depot, is that we've got that. I think the housing market is peaked, and can you get maybe even a little bit more pullback? But, I talked about, what is this, August now? I think in the first week or mid part of June, we started talking about how I started buying puts that were October, November, December puts, because I thought this was going to be one of these things where you get 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and it kind of looks like that. This is where the market's kind of trying to make a decision. I suspect it's going to continue down until they do raise rates, at which time we probably will get a considerable bounce. But the problem is that the market's been promised a rate hike. If they don't give the rate hike, that means the economy's weaker than they thought. And no one wants to admit that either. So they're in this kind of catch-22 now where the market's going to be problematic. But I suspect we're going to see higher interest rates rather sooner than later. When we look at the dollar index today, especially this morning, I was watching it because I woke up about 4 o'clock in the morning, about 4 o'clock. The squirt gun that pretends it's a dog had to go pee again, Liberace, the pianist. So I had to get up and go out, turn the TV up, started seeing all the stuff, and thought, well, this is very interesting conversation at 4 a.m. I should be sleeping. I saw the S&Ps were down about 10 points, and I thought, okay, I can go back to bed. And I did. But my point is that was enough to spook everybody. And my guess is until we see some kind of bottom and better news and the Fed getting out of the way at least once and saying, hey, we're one and done, or two, we're going to do 2 and done, and the market can lay off, I think that's it. But markets have a bad tendency, especially in the last year of a presidency, to go ahead and get the worst out of it. So when the next president comes along, they can move on. And even if the current president doesn't like it, the rest of the markets tend to wash out in that last year. And, we've been going up forever. I can't believe anybody doesn't believe that we're going to get at least some mild form of retracement. But the Fed has been good enough to convince everybody of that. I said it last week, and I think a lot about people are talking about it, and that is, or not a lot of people are talking about it, but John from Philly was talking about it in the Den. And I said, only the penitent man will pass, as one of the Raiders of the Lost Ark movies. They said it was one of the riddles that you had to pass to get to the Holy Grail. And I think that's pretty much what you have to do out here. That is that you have to just short away and close your eyes and grit and bear it. And then eventually you're going to have a lot of cash when you have it out. When we look, we had our puts on BIIB. When you look at this, we had a lot of times why this thing was going sideways. I think we were in it somewhere around the 26th of June. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 days where this thing kind of mostly went sideways. It gapped down before earnings and kind of blow away. I may have decided to cover it and sell my puts the day before earnings if it had not already had and gapped down and given me a confirmation of it. But I don't think this could be any different than Home Depot. You can be in these sideways moving ones for a long time and then seemingly out of nowhere you get all your cash. It's a lot more of that than not. Other things of interest out here is Starbucks, SBUX. And what's the question out here? My opinion on Starbucks. As it pulls back, I'm looking for a nice entry point for a long IRA position. Okay, well, if you are looking for a long-term IRA position, I suspect that there is only one for you, and that is at about 43 bucks. Yeah, I'd say that. This big gap, everything's being filled in these stocks out here. That gap came from the 23rd of January, and you're looking at about 43 bucks, Jerry, from Boston. Could it bounce higher? It could. But if you're in an IRA, you can only get out every once in a while. There's only one safe place to plant your flag, and that's going to be around 43 bucks. Yeah. I was going to say, before I read your email, what are you thinking out here? And I would have said I would have thought you were thinking about going short this stock, because I think it is coming back down to that $43 level over time. But if I was going to short it, this is a perfect stock to use the double repo pattern on it. We've got so many of these stocks doing these that I think it's going to pay off, or at least the risk reward is fantastic on it. But what I'm looking at is this pullback here is one more close above the 3x3 displaced moving average, and then one more close below it. Again, as always, you can use a 9-day traditional moving average. And let me set that up. I'm back to setting everything back up. Of course, it's been 2008 since the last time I transferred any of my data to a new computer. So it's been 7 years. It's not like you do it every day. Anyway, I've got to make everything, all my settings have to be changed. And I'll get rid of Avon today. I don't know why it's doing today. I got rid of it yesterday. Starbucks, anyway. You know, you've got this thing in a huge long trend. You got a couple closes below it. What you want to do is see this thing go above the 9-day moving average, close back. The next close below it would be a short, as long as volume remains rather interesting. The downside to this technique is that if it gaps away, which a lot of these stocks are in, you don't get the trade, but it is a much safer way to trade most of these stocks. But I think you're looking back at $43. In fact, Andy Heck, maybe you probably want to talk to Andy Heck and see if there's anything going on in coffee and higher prices in coffee that could change a great deal of what's going on there. But we will do that. Checking out what's in play out here. PUK. Yeah, we'll take a quick look at that. PUK. Yeah. Reported EPS. It's interesting. Got a lot of airlines going today. Why don't we take a look at those real quick? AAL, of course, all up on the gas prices going down. What's our last on that? $43.14 on crude. You know, for a day that's down, is it really up that much? It's given about half of it back. If the tide goes down, all boats are going down. And I don't suspect that we're going to be any better off in anything else. You're just going to lose less money. I probably would either be in cash or short, but I don't think I'd be long too many things. There's a handful of them. But if you know, the market would turn around, probably look at American Airlines. It is up today. Not a lot of volume, but at least it's bucking the trend. Of course, if crude started to go up, it would be problematic too. Delta Airlines is also up, light volume. Looks to me like it's going to try $47.98. Not much left in this trade out here. Energy was less than the last leg down. Energy is volume is light as we get into those candles of May 13th. So it could fail again. And most of these stocks, I suspect, are headed back down, in this case, to probably that gap at 35. And, you know, if you test 47.98, that may be it, maybe also the low in crude. So I think we're probably getting fairly close to it out here. Of course, FCX, everybody was to the moon on this yesterday. They went to heaven and hell in a day. basically a fairly decent reversal signal on it. As I think we talked about this yesterday, and I said, it still hasn't really busted any trend line on the way up. Same thing with a lot of these other stocks in the metals. Let's take a quick look at GLD out here. I haven't had a chance to look at it today. I have no dog in this fight. Yesterday, I know that a lot of people were looking. But has it really busted the downtrend out here? And I think you can make a case that it's still underneath the trend line down. So it is problematic. Yeah, that's it. Okay, what else do we have? VIPS. We talked about this stock before at ad nausea. This is the one where we started talking about Chinese and the whole problem with it. And in fact, I should have played this at the beginning of the day, and I didn't. I've got to get it in while we can.
I like Chinese. I like Chinese. I like their tiny little trees. Their zen, their ping pong,
and their yang. I like Chinese, especially today because I'm short. Anyway, Viships is one of those companies that we talked about. This was the poster child that we played about 6 or 7 clips from the guy that was short as to whether this company was worth, what, 2 or 3 billion or worth 300 million, because of course it was 300 million on the documents it filed in China, and it was like $3 billion or $2 billion in that. In fact, I'll find that clip before the end of the show. I think I've got it out here somewhere. I've got to actually think about it. I don't have it up there at the moment, so I'll put it up during the break, and we'll play it again. But this was the company that said that they had 100 locations and had 10 locations. Still nothing happened to them. But I will say I will give you another round of I told you thusly when it comes to China.
I informed you thusly.
I informed you thusly. Anyway, a lot of volume out here. It is busting out the lows. As far as I can tell, all the big short hedge funds have been massively short this thing. And now it's probably going to pay off as everybody figures out exactly what's going on in this market. I don't know what this thing is actually worth and who does. And we'll play those clips again. Probably very appropriate. But it just it's kind of like leprosy. China is just leprosy, and anything it touches, anything around it, looks to me like you could start losing a finger or a toe or something. Not enough leper jokes around anymore. I remember growing up with a great deal of them. I'm sure they're politically incorrect these days, but I always liked the hockey leper joke the best. Let's see what else we have out here. SYMC of other stocks. What else we have? Okay, it's down. Symantec Corporation's blown out its previous low of October 13th, $21.66. 7.7 million shares. Got 10 million already. You've got the big gap. That gap is back on the 9th of May in 2014. It's going for it. We'll be back in a minute. Still have plenty of time to give me a call. 877-927-6648.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're back. Let's check, see if I have any more mail. Still have plenty of time to get in, and if you're quick on it, or in the den if you want me to look at anything else. In the meantime, I'm going to take a look at what interests me. And what interests me today is Exxon, not ExxonMobil, XON, Interex Corporation. Talk about a stock that got a quick haircut out here. This thing has been headed back down for a while out here. It got a little bit more sand kicked in its face on the beach out here, down another 16, 17% today. And this had a little gap out here at about $45, which I imagine is going to be the first support level. But you've got another big gap down here at about $30 to $33. And I don't know a lot about this company, so it's probably a good day to check it out. Biotechnology operates a synthetic biology field. So it's heaven or hell. And I've got something in Chinese letters here for a new email. I don't think I can answer that. Home Depot. Taiwan Semiconductor. Well, we'll see what else. Okay. One other thing out here. PRAA. Take a quick look at this today. Earnings of $1.06 a share, 9 cents worse. And it doesn't look like it's really affecting this guy out here, the PAR group. Looked like it was down maybe a little bit earlier this morning. I don't know why. It says it's off 10%. Oh, because it's not the day. Yeah, we'll figure it out later on. Anyway, what else do we have out here? Oh, I wanted to talk about Apple. Did we already talk about Apple? I'm starting to lose my mind. I mean, you're down. Volume's picked up. That's going to continue to put pressure on the NASDAQ. Looks to me now you have 110 set up on 109.50. 110 from this gap up that happened on the 28th of January, and that is now game on. So we're probably going to get back into that gap and fill it halfway. So look for like 111, something like that. And my guess is that we probably, if we're going to see that, we're probably going to see it tomorrow. Again, we're going to go into or not fund, but we're going to go into options expiration cycle. That is where they go delta neutral. They try to sell as much stuff. That would also be most likely a low for the next 5-7 trading days. The question will be, do you want to take your cash off the table then, or do you want to continue hanging on for maybe a possible huge surprise to the downside? And with about a minute left to go, of course, we've got 3 more hours to go with Tom O'Brien, and we've got him for the next 2 hours. And then we've got Andy Heck coming on for commodities, and what a big day for commodities. So we'll look forward to hearing from him. I already gave my opinion, which is I think we've got the China syndrome out here, and commodities are going to melt and go right through like a core meltdown to the center of the earth. I just was kidding about that, but China syndrome kind of sounds about right. My guess is that's what will be the headline tomorrow if commodities continue headed down. We're at 2081 with a 2.6 billion shares on the NYSE consolidated tape. And that pretty much sets up everything out here. We'll see how we close. 2076 on the S&P cash is the low of the day. Do we get back down there? I thought we're going to move down to that 2070 tomorrow. That's probably going to tell us a great deal when it tests it then. So nothing to do but sit on my hands with my shorts, gaining lots of copious cash. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.